So we're on the book of Ruth, one of my favorite books ever in the Bible. It's a really amazing story. It starts out with a woman named Naomi. Naomi has a husband and 2 sons. And they leave their land and go to Moab to go live for a while. So they go there, and her 2 sons marry 2 other women, Moabite women. And these would have been the descendants of Lot and his daughters. The original lady, Naomi, her husband dies, and her 2 sons also die. She decides she's going to go back to her people in Israel. And she tells the 2 wives, well, you're still young, so go back to your families, and maybe you can still find husbands for yourselves. And one of the girls says, I'm going to go. And the other one says, I won't leave you. And Naomi's like, I've got nothing for you. I have no more sons for you. I've got nothing to offer you. I'm an old woman. And in fact, don't even call me Naomi anymore. My name should be changed to Mara, which means bitterness. And Ruth clings to her and says, I won't let you go. Where you go, I'll go. And where you stay, I stay. And your God is going to be my God. I'm not leaving you. Well, they get back to Israel, and they're the poorest of the poor. They have nothing. One of the things that Israel did, that God instituted, was you were supposed to leave some of the grain when you harvested. You were supposed to leave some for poor people, for widows, people to be able to go behind you and pick whatever's left and find stuff so they had something to eat. Well, Naomi says, you need to go out and find us food, so go ahead and go glean, get the remainders, the leftovers that are left in the fields. So Ruth goes to do that. So Ruth goes to glean from the field, and this man comes to his field that belongs to him. His name is Boaz, and he says, hey, who's that Moabite lady that's out there in the field? And one of his men in charge says, oh, well, that's Ruth. She is the daughter-in-law of Naomi. She came and said, can I please, glean in your field, anything left over? And she's been working like a dog. She's been working from sunup till sundown, just gathering all of this. And so Boaz goes to her and says, hi, I'm Boaz. This is my field. Please don't go anywhere else. Don't go glean any more fields. Stay here. It's safe. We're actually distant relatives. She bows down to him and she says, why have I found such favor in your eyes that you've noticed me, a foreigner? And he says, I've been told all about what you've done for your mother-in-law since the death of your husband, and how you left your father and your mother and your homeland and came to live with people you didn't know before. May the Lord repay you for what you have done. And so she goes home and she's like, Naomi, guess what? I was gleaning in this field, and it belonged to a guy named Boaz, and he was so kind to me. He let me eat there, and he told me to come back here only. And look at all this grain I have. That man is a close relative. He's one of our kinsman-redeemers. You can look that up. I'll put a link.